Welcome to York. Behind me is York Minster, the most famous church in this city. We've been walking around for a little while now and it seems like every street has a church. So we'll go and visit that later, but for now we are exploring the beautiful city, walking around enjoying its medieval surrounds. It's the oldest medieval town in Europe and I'm sure we'll learn a lot more about it as we go around. York started life as a Roman settlement in 71 AD and was known as Eboracum. In 306 AD, Emperor Constantine was proclaimed the Emperor of the Roman Empire right here in York after his father, the emperor before him, died unexpectedly during a military campaign in the area. But the Roman rule didn't last, and in 866 AD, the Vikings invaded and the city was renamed Jorvik, which is the origin of the current name York. The Viking influence continues to this day as the medieval gateways into the city are called bars. In fact, the gate that we normally use to enter and exit the city is called Micklegate Bar, and you'll see us exploring this gate or bar later on in this video. Another fun fact that becomes obvious walking around York is that all the streets are called gates, which is based on the Scandinavian word for road, which is gata. Right, we're on the hunt for cats. Wait, we have to go through this gate. I think we go through this. I'll let you go first. All right, so we're going through like this medieval tunnel and we're looking for, there's 30 something little cats around York that you can find. So my friend has like this guide that's kind of gives like some vague clues. We've just found a couple and now we're looking for another one. So we're currently on a street that's hilariously called, I kid you not, Whitma Wopma Gate. And now we're looking for a cat. If I find it, I'll show you. Oh, okay. So I've not found any of the cats. My friend has found all of them so far, but she did just find the little one. So I'll turn it around and you can like squint at the screen. And it's there on the sign, the black cat on the white sign. The cat hunt ended up being a really fun way to explore the medieval town of York. It forces you to go down all sorts of streets and alleyways and paths and have a look around the city. Although I have to admit we got quite distracted on the hunt by the various shops and buildings that we kept stumbling across. There was some really fantastic Christmas ornament shops, really great little stores for buying souvenirs and gifts for family and friends. There was this, half-timbered medieval building next to York Minster, which we found out was called St William's College and dated back from the 1400s. But I mean, that was kind of the point of doing the cat hunt, is that you did get to stumble across a lot of treasures of York. The city walls of York, also called bar walls because remember, city gates are called bars, trace their origin back to medieval times and are located on the site of the earlier Roman walls. Yeah. And first off, we're going to go through this awesome thing here, I reckon. And then we'll go up. Wow. Do you feel like you could be a soldier?
Oh, completely. Not. Like I'm back in the Tower of London.
Wow. Oh, look at that gate. See, straight down. No windows out the front, I notice. We've made it. We're on top of York City walls. I don't know when these were constructed, a long time ago. Maybe I'll put a year up. And we're going to walk around part of the old city of York. You can just walk, as you can see behind me, straight along the city walls and look out over the fortified defences. It takes around 2 hours to walk a circuit of the entire walls, and they are the longest city walls in all of England. However, the walls were almost destroyed at the turn of the 19th century. Years of neglect had left them crumbling and in need of repair, and Parliament was petitioned for an act to enable the demolishing of the walls. Fortunately for us and for history, a number of prominent people in the city of York opposed this, and 90 years later, work on restoring the walls was finally completed. York Minster is an enormous Gothic church located in York, with a church existing on this site from 1627. I have to admit I was a little reluctant to pay the entrance fee to go inside the church, as we had already seen a number of famous cathedrals and abbeys on our trip. However, it is absolutely magnificent and full of history. We ended up spending hours inside this building. York Minster contains half of England's collection of medieval stained glass, and the magnificent Great East Window is the size of a tennis court. It contains 311 panels, starting with Old Testament scenes from creation through to the death of Absalom, and then below this are a series of scenes from the Apocalypse. There's an incredible website called the York Glass Navigator, where you can look up every panel to find the biblical story it is based on. And yes, we looked up most of the panels. I'm in York Minster right now, and those are some of the pipes from the pipe organ. So they're literally as big as a whole person. So I'm standing here just so you can see the scale of the pipes. York Minster also contains a crypt which contains old relics, including the Doomstone, which is meant to be a carving of hell and dates from the 12th century. It was kind of spooky. Incredibly, there are also various Roman remains, as the Minster's foundations are actually built over the foundations of the original Roman fortress. There is also an undercroft museum, no filming allowed, which is well worth visiting and which traces the Roman and Viking history of York. We really enjoyed our stay in York. It's a fantastic base to visit this part of England, and it's full of history, full of beautiful places to go and see. And as you'll come across in later videos, we did some incredible day trips while we were based in this area. There's also the added bonus of there being really great food in York. I don't think we had a bad meal. And York ended up being a really fantastic place to stay and to visit while on this trip.